Hey guys, Laura Francis from laurafrancis.com.au. Oh, why is that not letting me invite people? Okay, now it is. So let's do that, shall we? I'll just invite a couple of people onto this live stream. And today we're going to be talking about a real favourite topic of mine. And it is, oh sorry, my tripod, the thingy's a little bit loose there. A little bit loose. We're going to be talking about one of my most favouriteest topics of all, and that is needing permission. And while I get a couple of people on the invite list here, if you have, I don't even want to touch this because it's so damn loose. If you happen to join me while I'm rambling on here to start this live stream, please do go ahead and introduce yourself. Let me know where you're joining me from. And turn off my sound on my phone so that that's not making noises as well. Let me know where you're joining me from, say hello, and let me know how your day has been. So I'll just go through and just invite a few more people along. Right. Get a few little faces in here, see if we can get some people popping in. It's a bit of an odd time of day. Only the Aussies and the Europeans and Brits up at the moment, I believe. We've got someone there. Say hi, whoever's just joined me, so I know who I'm talking to. I'm just inviting a few people in and I'll get started very, very shortly. Okay. Right. 5 more people to be invited if my thumb can hit the right button, which it's not, but now it has. Okay, cool. All right. So, who's joining me? Please say hi. It's Ashley. Hi, Ashley. Hi again. In this video today, we're going to talk about, do you really need permission to shine? It's a pretty important topic when you get to the crux of it because, hello, darling. Can you hear me okay, Ash? Is the volume all right? So I'm not miming here. I'm actually being heard. It's a pretty important topic, and one that I had with myself this morning. Surprise, surprise. Let me get comfy on my stool and make sure I don't fucking face plant into the iPad. Move that a little bit closer. All right, coolios. So this morning I received a phone call, and there's something. I'm buying a new car, right? And I wanted a specific colour. Thank you, Ash. I wanted a specific colour in my car. And, you know, my partner, Dan, I told the sales guy, I said, oh, I wanted yellow, and I can't get yellow. I can only get red, black, blue, silver, or grey. And, hey, Tiffany, thanks for joining. And anyway, so he told me the colours, and I'm like, oh, do I go silver or do I go red? Because, of course, I'm going to go red, right? Which I did. And I thought, hang on, let me call my counterweight. So I called Dan, my partner, and I said, hey, Luann. And I said to him, babe, I can only, they've got no manuals in Australia because I don't drive automatics, right? I only drive shift, as you guys in the States call it. I only drive manuals. And so they've got not a single manual of this Jeep, hello beautiful Luann, in the country. And so I really wanted to test drive one before I spend like 55 grand on it, right? And so the guy said to me, he goes, what we need to do is we need to get a deposit from you. Like, how keen are you about actually getting this car? And I said, well, it's a done deal because I'm getting it, right? Like, it's non-negotiable. It's what's happening, and that's all there is to it. And he said, so what I need from you is a cash deposit just to make sure that, you know, just to back up your seriousness so that, you know, if you test drive it when it gets here, because they have to ship it all the way from the US, so it'll take 2 to 3 months or 3 to 4 months. So basically, so they're not being fucked around and they're not wasting their time. Either way, they'll shift the car. It'll sell. Anyway, so I wasn't concerned about coming up with the money for it because it's a done deal, right? Anyway, so I called Dan just to ask him what he thinks about the colours, and because I was a little bit torn because I like silver and actually wanted silver in my current vehicle that I bought 10 years ago, would you believe? The little baby's just about had its day. And so I decided that I'd ask Dan for his opinion on the colours. Anyway, him being his normal pragmatic self, he just said, babe, you're not putting a deposit down on the car. It's like, I totally am. And he goes, babe, like, we've got to talk about it. And it's like, babe, we don't. Anyway, we don't have to talk about it because I'm making the money and I've got the money mostly there and it's a done deal. So I'm not at all concerned. I know that I will have the car and that I will pay cash for the car, and that's just that. Anyway, so he's like, oh, you can't put money down. What if you don't like it? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm there like, don't worry about that. All I'm calling you for is to ask you, should we get silver or should we get red? I'm really thinking red because, you know, I'm a red girl and whatever. I'm not actually, look at me, I'm what we call white. But I love red, and red is my branding colours and it has been for years, and I just really, really love red. I have red handbags and stuff, you know, like red's my thing. Anyway, and so he goes, oh, just go the red. And he was a little bit frustrated with me. Anyway, I got off the phone, I hung up the phone. I didn't hang up the phone because you don't do that with an iPhone, right? I pushed the button and finished the call. And I just fucking got off the phone and I shook my head because, yeah, red's awesome, Luann. The last time a boyfriend of mine told me I can't, I did, and I don't have the boyfriend. It's totally my colour, Ashley. Anyway, and it just got me thinking about, because I don't need Dan's permission, and Dan certainly doesn't expect me to ask for permission, but he was saying, babe, you can't, although he even knows that I can because we keep talking about the fact that it's done. And so I don't actually need or seek anybody's permission. I often will, though, just out of not normalcy, just go to Dan and just, you know, consult with him about like trivial little things. Like when it's a big decision, I'll generally just make it myself, particularly if it's a business related decision. I'm the business owner, I'm the decision maker, I'll make the decision. Like yesterday I paid $5,500 for a new MacBook Pro, right? Thanks, Tiff. And so I just paid $5,500 for a fully decked out MacBook Pro yesterday, and I didn't ask anyone's permission to spend that $5,500 because I'll spend whatever the fuck I like on my business. And apart from that, my computer is my main tool, right? So I need to have, I've got a stray hair. I'm having a hair thing today. I need a really fucking badass computer to be able to work the way I need it to work. So I need something with really high RAM and fast speed. RAM is memory for those of you who don't know. Thanks, Ash. And so anyway, so I spent $5,500 yesterday. I spent a couple of grand last week on someone doing some Facebook ad stuff for me. I spent a couple of grand, probably the same week actually, on a new mentor in a different area because I spend plenty of money on mentors every year. And so I don't need to ask permission from anyone except for myself, right? But it got me thinking about how many people feel they need to ask permission, but I'm going to go elsewhere with that as well. It's about how many people don't actually give themselves permission to shine. Do you need other people's permission to shine, or do you stop yourself from shining because you don't give yourself permission to shine? Hell fuck yeah, there are way too many of us out there, and particularly us chicky babes. We get in our own way. Oh, got a kink neck. We get in our own way often, and because we're very self-sacrificing, we often are more than happy. For those of you joining, please say hi. We're more than happy to make decisions and say fuck hell yeses and do things that are for other people. But when it comes to doing things that are for us, we feel that we can't make a decision for ourselves. Like our partner will decide that, like Dan, for example, like we never ask each other for permission about spending money. But like he decides he's going to go to the Mentawais on a surf trip. It's like, yep, no worries, done deal. So he just considers it done, and it's done. We decide we're going to go anywhere and do anything, we just do it. And it's whether we're doing it individually or as a team. Whatever we want to purchase or acquire, have, experience, do, we just decide if it's something that we really want, if we're really passionate about it, if it's a deep desire of ours or something we've wanted for a while, we go ahead and do that, right? And even when Dan had his own business 6 or 7 years ago, he would just make a decision, consider it done, because he's a man, he's an adult, he can go and do what he likes. I'm a woman, I'm an adult, I can go and do what I like. But women are more than happy to help other people to make a decision, but they are not really necessarily happy to help themselves to make a decision, because we decide that, oh no, I can't possibly do that. Like, no, because if I do that, well, someone else is going to have to miss out on something in some way so that I can have the thing that I want. Well, if you play your cards the right way, nobody has to miss out on anything, and you don't necessarily have to make any sacrifices. But why should you be the one that misses out all the time because you feel that self-sacrificing is something that is a requirement because you've got a vagina and breasts, right? Because you're a woman, because you're a mother, because you're a spouse, whatever. Because you've got a vagina and breasts, you have been educated that you need to seek permission from other parties in your life before you can make decisions, be they personal or business related. That is such absolute, complete and utter fucked up bullshit. Just putting that out there, because you don't need anyone's permission to do anything at all in your life except your own. And the only reason you can't and won't give yourself permission to shine like a motherfucking diamond is because, well, there's a few reasons. You don't believe in yourself. You don't trust that you'll do the work. You don't trust in yourself to follow through and get the results. You can't see the desired outcome as a done deal, which means you don't believe in yourself. I mean, there's a few other variables in there, but ultimately, if you want to do something in your business or in your life, let's just say it's in your business, you're a fucking entrepreneur, baby. You're an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are decision makers. That's that. It's that simple. That's it. They're the rules. Entrepreneurs are decision makers. Entrepreneurs don't need permission from other parties to be entrepreneurs. Did you ask permission from somebody to become an entrepreneur? Hell, fuck no. You just decided that there's this thing inside of you that is burning like a fucking flame that was ignited inside of you, and you had to release it and let it breathe, because if you didn't, you were going to fucking burn to death on the inside, but you would combust because you were so passionate about this thing that it had to be a done deal. So why, when it comes to making decisions for you, for your life, for the betterment of yourself, for the betterment of your future, for your business, do you need to ask permission? You don't. You don't. The only person's permission you need to step up, stand out, speak up, show up, be out there, and be a fucking entrepreneur who takes life by the vajayjay and runs with it and is an absolute motherfucking success story is your own. So ask yourself some questions. If you feel that you cannot make a decision for yourself, why is that? Where are you lacking trust, self-belief, self-love and self-respect internally? What is your resistance, your blockage, your excuses, your stories that are holding you back from being the badass, living your life on purpose that you were born to do? Okay? Why won't you let yourself be yourself? All right? Why won't you allow yourself to thrive? Why won't you allow your art to be expressed in as big a fucking way as possible? Why won't you give yourself permission to succeed? You don't need to hold yourself back. You're so caught up hiding behind all of this baggage of life and of fucking victimhood and of pain and of suffering and of hurt and of rejection and of false fear and of lack of confidence that you're just not letting yourself trust yourself. But to be able to shine, to be able to rise, to be able to live your life on purpose, to be able to share and express and unleash yourself and your art on the world and to the people who need you and it, you need to trust yourself. You need to believe in yourself. You need to love yourself. Hey, Craig, you need to back yourself. You need to invest in yourself, and you need to consider a line drawn in the fucking sand right now that you will not accept anything in your life less than what you were born for, and that is your purpose, and you will go after that purpose like a tenacious fucking bulldog, and you will succeed because you are the only one whose permission you need to get out there and thrive like the badass, purposeful entrepreneur that you are. Passionate, right? You don't need other people's permission. You don't need to get the consent from your friends. Thanks, Tiff. You don't need to talk with your mother. You don't need to talk with your father. You don't need your friends to say, oh, that's a really good idea, Laws. Fuck friends, right? Friends come, friends go. Friends and family, clearly, friends and like other family, not my own children, but other parts of family, they don't mean much to me because I've seen how loyalties to people who aren't loyal in return work. So for me, there's never a thing about asking family for permission. I know some of you think that you're going to upset the apple cart if you absolutely stand out and speak out and show up the way you are supposed to be showing up. Like one of the lovely ladies who was on this live stream, I spoke with her earlier today. She's hiding. Stop hiding. Give yourself permission to show up fully. You don't need to hide. While ever you're hiding, you're not expressing your art in the way that it needs to be expressed. You're not expressing yourself, and you're not helping your ideal soul level clients to rise the way they should be rising because they come to you for your help. And if you're actually putting on a facade and pretending to be someone you're not, you're deceiving them. That's wrong. It's wrong for them and it's wrong for you. You need to give yourself permission to shine. You need to give yourself permission to express your art. You need to give yourself permission to show up in your fullest, most badass, most purposeful, passion-filled, desire-filled glory and thrive as a badass entrepreneur, as the person you were born into this human form to be. Am I right? Please tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. I know I'm not wrong. If anyone has any questions on permission to shine, please do pop them in the comments. I need to draw breath. And while we're on the topic of art and permission and shining and showing up, let's talk about my 30K in 30 days program, which is starting on the 14th of August. It's 6 weeks away. You get weekly, or you get an initial 90-minute call with me. You get weekly private one-on-one laser coaching sessions of 45 minutes each. You get a weekly group call in our Facebook group. You'll also receive a weekly Q&A. You get unlimited access to me 24/7 via SMS and Messenger. Plus, if you sign up within 48 hours of messaging me to find out the full details, because you do need to message me to get all the details. If you sign up within 48 hours of that, you get up to 6 weeks of one-on-one access to me pre-program start date. So that means you get to work with me for 6 weeks for free. The fuck? Am I crazy? Yes, I am. Do I need permission to be crazy? No, I don't. So if that's something that resonates with you, please private message me to get more details about that. Now, that program is specifically for online entrepreneurs, visionaries, creatives, and artists. Okay? It is for people who know they've got a message to share visually, verbally, or otherwise. It is for the people who are already making $10,000 a month in their business, but know they were born to make more. It is for the people who are ready to let their art do the talking and make the money for them. Okay? If that sounds like you, if this resonates with you at all, please pop me a message and I'll message you back with all of the details. I'm not putting all of the details on a sales page, not going there. I am only sending them details to people who message me and tell me why they feel that they're a good fit for the program. Okay, so message me, tell me why you think you're a good fit for the 30K in 30 days program. I'll send you all of the details, and then all you need to do is hit me back with a hell fuck yeah and purchase the program within 48 hours to secure it at the initial price. If there is a split payment, a two-part payment available. So if you need that, that's also available. So what you need to do right now is message me with a hell fuck yeah or a hell yes and tell me why you think you're a fit for 30K in 30 days. Okay? So guys, that's it from me. No one's hit me with any questions. I don't need permission to hang around anymore. I'm out of here. Love, truth, and badassery. I love you. You need to love you. Step up. Give yourself permission to shine. This is Laura Francis from laurafrancis.com.au. Queen Captain Badass. I'm out of here. I'll chat with you soon.